We're going to be talking about exaltation of beauty. She'll never sell her soul for the buck. She'll never chase the paper at the cost of her deepest values. She'll be here for almost a month until about March the 6th. And so therefore, you got to time travel back to 1894. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Don't get pregnant. Make money, bitch. It's a money increase. Lord of Time and Karma has been testing your marriage, significant other house energetically since 2023. It means that your career is going up, up, up.
Lunatic astrology.
If there's one thing I want you to get from this week's video and really understand is a rare sky. We say this a lot in astrology, rare events, rare sky, but this is true. The Venus entering into Pisces, the sign of her exaltation this week ahead on February 10th, is going to be beautifully rare. She will be exalted, joining the North Node of Destiny in the next couple of weeks. She will activate a trine to Jupiter. We haven't seen that since 1894. So we end up with these rare 18-year, 100-year cycles collaborating together in our heavens, and it begins in the week ahead. Venus exalted is beautiful for higher love, divine love, soulmate love, higher values and standards around money, creativity, imagination, and devotion. Whatever you wish to devote yourself to, Venus will show you, whether it's a job, a person, a situation. This is a powerful time. We're starting out with that Venus story on the 10th of February. My time zone, that's a Tuesday. She's going to roll through to March the 6th, exalted with the North Node while trining Jupiter. Again, it's 100 plus years rare. If you are not over 100, because you're not a vampire or some immortal being, then you're going to find things occur that are quite intense and even positive here in this 3.5 week Venus exaltation cycle. Let's dive into some of the features for your next few weeks. Listen for your sun, moon, and rising, and welcome. Let's get started. I'm really excited about this myself, so I hope you guys are too. We are living in interesting times. Welcome to the astrology for the week of the 9th of February, 2026, all the way through until about the 15th. And we're going to be talking today about beauty. We're going to be talking about exaltation of beauty. We're talking about how Venus is going to be moving into the sign of Pisces, where she is deeply devoted, soulmate oriented, powerfully imaginative, and looking for compassion, unconditional, and higher love. And when it comes to money, and I love these flowers because I'm going to share more about them later, they're white roses. When it comes to money, Venus is like in Pisces, she's well, she'll never sell her soul for the buck. She'll never chase the paper at the cost of her deepest values. And while Venus can bring money in any sign, when she brings money through Pisces, it's because of your creative, imaginative, and generative energy that has a lot to do with spiritual energies. And so Venus in Pisces is happening. She's in a powerful condition called her exaltation, beginning on the 10th of this week ahead, which is a Tuesday in my time zone. She'll be here for almost a month until about March the 6th. And so therefore, from February 10th to March the 6th, Venus is giving you some power love. Not any old love, not any old love. Not only is she exalted in Pisces, but she's also with the North Node of Destiny, the North Node of Fate. And in that regard, that she could only do that dance with the North Node of Destiny and the North Node of Fate in the watery kingdom of Pisces, Jupiter's terrain, once every 18 to 20 years. So within an 18 to 20 year span, like 2008 and 9 or 1990, 91, she danced with the North Node in Pisces. If you were to add the circumstance of Jupiter exalted traveling through Cancer, while Venus joins the North Node in Pisces, you got to time travel back to 1894. Good luck with that, right? So I want to encourage you to think about how beautifully rare and amazing that this story is. And I don't feel anything negative about Venus exalted with the North Node, because the North Node looks like a horseshoe this way, also called Rahu in Indian astrology, Vedic astrology, is an amplifier, a volume up. And in Hellenistic or traditional Mesopotamian astrology, we might suggest that the goodness of Venus is amplified, or the volume of a positive placement for Venus is turned way the heck up. And if north node can be malefic, like the serpent's head or the dragon's head with a ravenous appetite, Venus is protecting you a bit because she's bonifying the more dangerous aspects of Rahu. So this is a week ahead that begins to emerge as something good is trying to happen. And indeed, while Venus spends her entire time through to February 6th in Pisces, around the time of the eclipse of February 17th, a day before, a day of, and day after, she will join forces at one with the North Node, not just applying to meet him, but becoming united in a conjunction. So we have a good energy in our sky. Venus is exalted. I'm going to talk about how it plays out this week. Next week, I'll go into the next story, which will be her conjunction with her connection in the week after to the actual eclipse on February 17th. One thing about Venus is it depends on where she falls in your chart. So if she falls in your chart in your second house, it's about money. If Pisces is your marriage seventh house, it's about your relationships. So as we go through your sign today, we'll do it that way so you understand how to make sense of this. And if you're new to my channel, please, please, please let me say welcome to your newness here. Somehow, some way, 805,000 odd people came onto my channel in one giant swoop. So if you're one of those people, I'm so grateful you're here. And that happened in 30 days. So that just happened over late December until the end of January. And I don't know how that happened. Thanks for being here. Say hi in the comments. Let me know that you're new. Tell me what you think of this content. My name is Lori Lothian. This is Western Tropical Astrology. This is helping you guide your life, time your life, figure out your best direction in life. And I do have a 2026 video bundle. All 12 signs, 2+ hours each, PDF guidebooks for the year ahead, or just buy your single sign. Still at my sale price. I'm extending that now through to probably forever, just so you can afford it. And go check it out below. It's my yearly fundraiser, helps me create a scholarship fund and other stuff, as well as buy equipment for my channel, hire staff. All right, let's get started. Now, you saw me with these flowers, and the reason I'm sticking them in your face is I had to laugh. I really had to laugh. Because this is Valentine's Day this week ahead. And this company out of New York City established a flower company, Forbes, Cosmopolitan, everyone's written about them, called Roses Forever. And that's because these are preserved and they smell just like roses. There's no perfume. That's the natural smell of roses. This will last for several years. Well, nothing lasts forever, including love. This does. And I said, send me any color. They said, what would you like? You know, there's pink, red. They even have dyed roses like blue and purple. And I said, you guys pick. And they didn't know that this would be the week of Valentine's, in which Venus on the 10th, with Valentine's Day on the 14th, moved into her purity condition. What do I mean by purity? You can buy these roses. By the way, they're preserved naturally. And this is for easy shipping, and it's in like a light cardboard, but you can get it in ceramic and stuff. It happens to be naturally preserved. I want you to know that this is a wild harvested, naturally preserved in glycerin, which is a form of natural ingredients, glycine, glycerin. It's not a chemical. And so point I'm trying to make is that this is not something you got some toxic embalming flowers in your house. They smell like flowers and they do last years. They've been gently dried and preserved in this top dip of glycerin. So it's natural. And so rosesforever.com. I'm not going to show the website today. I did that in a couple of videos. Incredible collections of different styles of bouquets and flowers involving roses. But also I would like to tell you that I have a discount code Lori V Day for $20 off any bouquet you order for yourself or friends or family, or your kids for Valentine's Day. I always get my kids a Valentine's gift, my son and my daughter, for all of their lives. I don't know why. Maybe that's common with mothers. So hopefully you'll enjoy maybe taking advantage of my discount code for you guys. Or not. But they do ship it everywhere. They shipped it to me in Canada, right? V-Day 20 for $20 off. And the exact way to write the code and the link is in my description box under the video. Okay. It's like Lori V-Day 20 or something. Go check it out in the description box under the video, the link to the website and the code. All right, now, enough advertising. I'm going to hawk my wares, but I have my Venus in Taurus. I love flowers, perfume, chocolate, wine, although I've quit drinking and I haven't had alcohol for 3 weeks. You might notice my hair is a bit shorter for those of you who want to know. With Venus still in Aquarius, today I'm recording February 4th. I thought it'd be a good day for a haircut because I'm safe and protected by the goddess of beauty and the sign of my first sign of my house. This haircut is fun. Yaletown Hair Studio in Yaletown, Vancouver. And her name is Sue Kim. And I told her anybody who wants to go visit her in Vancouver or outlying places, Burnaby or whatever, just tell her that Lori Lothian sent you. And by the way, she'll give you a discount. I don't know, 15, 20%, but you'll get some discount on your haircut. And she's already affordable. And she's like a precision cutter. I'm all about promoting roses and hair today, but no perfume or chocolate. So let's start off. Let's get going. It's strangely hot in here on February 4th. On February 3rd and 4th, I said Mercury, by the way, on my Substack column, I said Mercury will collide with the monthly report for Substack, the world astrology for the month of February. I said there's going to be 4 shocks, 4 Uranian shocks. And first one will be the 3rd and 4th of February. And we're here now. And the only thing I could see that was shocking news, Mercury's news cycle, as Mercury squared Uranus from Pisces, was the disclosure of a Reddit column that said that the bad guy who unalived himself supposedly in a prison, whose name starts with J and ends with E, first and last name, I'll get demonetized otherwise, guys, who did bad things to little people who are female. Anyway, and was also probably an asset of a certain agency or two. He apparently didn't die, right? Maybe a prison guard on the day of Epstein's supposed unaliving. Oh, I said his name. Anyway, reported on Reddit that he saw basically what looked like a removal of the guy from the premises rather than anything else. So that is now trending on the internet right now on February 3rd and 4th, this disclosure, this information, the suspicion that has been lingering for a long time. Is he on a beach somewhere enjoying his life, or is he under the ground in a grave, which is true? I go with on the beach myself. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Okay. That's the first shocking news story. All right. So we got 3 more: Venus, Sun, and then Mars squaring Uranus this month ahead. You want to read about it? It's free on my Substack, Pluto Chronicles. I indicate what's likely to happen, what I think about it. It's all on the Pluto Chronicles, free for you on Substack, where I write world astrology without demonetization risks. Let's go ahead and look at your sign. We're going to go through each separate sign, talk about the vibration for the weekly astrology of the 10th of February, unfolding its wings all the way through to March the 6th, where we have Venus with the North Node in the sign of Pisces with a trine from Jupiter, unlike anything we've seen since the late 1800s. That's because of the Jupiter trine. Let me open up the chart and let's get started. We're going to start with Pisces because you are the one getting the story. Okay. This is a big deal for you. You're going to feel it and you're going to experience it in a way that nobody else will. You're kind of, if anyone here listening is born with Venus and Pisces, in some way, you have a devotional, magical, soulmatey, high standard for love. In Vedic astrology, they say people born with Venus and Pisces, if you're a man, will enter into sexless marriages. I've seen that with my clients because the wife would rather be a nun doing her vespers sometimes, or devoting herself to God than devoting herself to a man and his apparatus. So there you go. How are you feeling, Pisces? Is it steamy? Because Venus is going to be with you, and it's not going to leave till March the 6th. So from February 10th to March the 6th, this week's Tuesday, she enters into your sign. One thing you can do is get a haircut, a new wardrobe, do things to make yourself more pretty, more beautiful, more handsome. The world is going to perceive you as charming, as so charming. So, charm offensive. You will be liked and likable. You'll be congenial. If you were in a beauty pageant, God forbid, you would be winning Miss Congeniality when Venus Exalted moves through your sign. And you got a bit of command here. You can be very eloquent and very magnetic in a way to get things you want, to get your desires met. And with Mercury here, it kind of means you're exuding a kind of like, let me communicate to you in ways that my every wish is your command, or something like that. So use this power while you have it for desires to come true through this sense of an aura or a glamour of likability that you seem to be carrying. People want to help you is what I'm trying to say. Particularly that upon her ingress, Saturn is there, Lord of your house of benefactors, allies, patrons, people who want to support you. So this is going to, especially the February 10th to the 14th, when Saturn's still there, really help you get your way with people who are there to help you get your way, because they want to help, they want to support, and they want to support you. One thing about Venus here is that if you're looking for a relationship and trying to find one, a destined fated love story may emerge, but it would probably happen, like I'm talking about the whole month now, guys. It would probably happen between February 10th and March the 6th, because you are traveling, online social media, dating, or literally bumping into somebody shockingly in the grocery store or on a trip or in the local environment, your city, town, especially the first week of March, first 5 days of March. That when you could have a really exciting new relationship for single Pisces take off. If you're already with somebody, then that's not that story. It's just you might look very attractive in the eyes of your significant other. Suddenly you're going to be on a glow up February 10th to March the 6th, looking good. It's also good for your health and your body, especially if you have tests or you've been waiting for results of tests, or you're going to have tests. Therefore, the results of any medical tests or tests are going to probably be positive. And with Saturn ruling the house of hospitals, that would mean that particularly more intensely good results medically till about the 14th of February. So this whole February 10th to 14th, good for medical results coming back from anything that was diagnostic, perhaps connecting to medical centers or hospitals or places of that nature. And there is something about Venus here that you might find with the North Node of Fate, that you're having deep spiritual illumination of some kind. Maybe renouncing your egoic identity, a moksha, surrender of the ego, because she rules your 8th house, and just having kind of 4th house. I hereby detach from my tribe, my family of origin, my social and cultural norms, liberation of the 8th house, Venus this week. I hereby surrender and release my last formal attachment to the egoic identity that holds me back, because I believe I am the thing I think I am. So there's a real spiritual vibe here for you this week ahead, but it also plays out much longer, right? It continues to flow through till March 6th. Artists, creatives, writers, communicators, entrepreneurs, you're so successful right now. Like, just roll with it, guys. Sun, moon, and rising, just roll with it. Like people want to help you. You're in good fortune territory, thanks to Jupiter. It's extraordinarily rare. Jupiter rules your career and reputation. He brings you good fortune in the house of good fortune. People want to step up and help you, even financially. All said and done, you are just in a nice glow this week for sure. And then even more so closer to the 16th, 17th, when Venus and the North Node touch down together. We'll address that once we get to it. If you are Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign, I explain this in every video, guys. I can't do it every time. I'm going to be going hoarse. Sun is career and purpose, your true self, your spirit. The rising sign is your character in the simulation and is sensitive to life circumstantial change. And your moon is how you feel and think about your life, but can impact matters to do with home, privacy, safety. Now, Aries. So I have a sun and moon, so I get this. This is one of the spiritual houses, the deepest moksha liberation. If you want to go all the way through the TM categories of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, this is the full Monty, Buddhahood. This is unity consciousness. This is lack of subject to object. This is the full liberation. If this liberation is to happen, nothing better than Venus conjunct the North Node. So any of you looking for spiritual illumination, yeah, why not? Venus coming through here beginning on Tuesday through to February 6th, March the 6th, brings you into contact with spiritual devotion. You might find a guru or a teacher, or you might just be very contemplative and you're wanting to be alone, and you might be creative or artistic in your alone time, as well as imaginative, as well as devotional. And in all those ways, being alone is actually good for you. So don't be afraid to be alone under the sky in your contemplative way. I kind of would say, I'm one of you. If you make money through, you work in a foreign country, you work for a foreign company, you have foreign customers and clients, you make money online, digital income, borderless revenue, then absolutely go for it here. Expansion volume up of worldly success in connection to the North Node. Venus is money exalted in your 12th house. This is going to be a glow up. Saturn, when the ingress begins this week, is co-present. He's telling you something like, maybe we can bake in some sustainable and long-term career goals and gains and successes and outcomes and earnings through this window of time, because although Venus is here till March the 6th and all of that, it's only until the 14th that she has Saturn here. So, I mean, I can make a lot of stories. Like I just shared roses from New York City, right? At the intro to this video, a foreign company would give me digital income and borderless revenue. They'd give me a small affiliate fee for every one of your purchases. Well, you get a discount code. That could be just all that looks like for me as a social media type, but something good is trying to happen. Trips to far off lands and foreign shores and distant places are good for you under the sky anytime between February 10th and March the 6th with females, by yourself, just because it's going to be soul soothing travel, pilgrimages, spiritual retreat, and highly creative and artistic ways to engage in travel. Having Jupiter here for the first time since 1894 is going to also glow you up with anything you do at home, in the home, from the home, creative, artistic, spiritual stories. Some of you might have an opportunity emerging to move your home to a distant place or foreign land, and likely for rental property as opposed to actually buying or selling, even if it's just a long-term rental option in a foreign country or far from where you live. Stories of those nature are galvanizing themselves with Venus's support between February 10th and March the 6th. If you're single, you could meet somebody in a distant shore, far off land, because you're traveling to a distant shore, far off land, because distant shore, far off land, foreign type people are traveling your way, and you romance can sprout. For single Aries, any romance is better than no romance. That looks like a possibility, but remember, Venus has got high standards here. This is soulmate love, not everyday casual dating. So if you meet somebody under this storyline or develop a deeper connection to someone, it's going to be very lasting and very powerful. Again, your window is February 10th to March the 6th. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now, it looks like to me, the thing I draw your attention to immediately is how Venus in your 11th house of good spirit is always about expanding the beauty and goodness of your career success. Particularly things like awards, rewards, upgrades, promotions, raises, more influence, more social influence, but more influence in the work, but also money, more gains in the career, the greater gains of the career, second from the 10th, 11th house. Quite possibly, you're going to find yourself quite up-leveled here. Maybe there is a chance that you are going to reach a new level of career success in something very specific. Now, it could be a raise, it could be a promotion, but it could also be a new job, because with Mars and Sun in the 10th house, you could be getting ready to cut and sever an old position. So look for opportunities for work, employment, interviews this week, and also through to March the 6th. Say yes, you're going to get it. If you apply for a job, you're going to get it. If you apply for jobs, you're going to get one of them. So those of you looking for an employment change or a new job or a job at all, look from between February 10th and March the 6th. Jupiter says likely it could be online. It could be in the neighborhood. It could be close to where you live. Jupiter says you could be exalted if you want to work in marketing or sales. So if a marketing and sales or writing job comes your way, or teaching job, absolutely take it. These are things that are going to work for you. And I do want to mention lastly that you might make some new friends under the sky. Now, these friends would be karmic because of Saturn, and lasting, and exalted. This is friends that you'll feel a spiritual connection to, and you may involve yourself in connections to spiritual groups as well. And joining a community of like-minded spiritual finders. Why do we want seekers? We want the finders, right? People who know what they're doing. And join the Kirtan group, join AA, join their spiritual at AA. God helps you. Join the meditation community. So, and meet new friends that last a long time. So take this opportunity specifically this week, but it can last through to March 6th for that kind of exploration of new social groups to which you wish to belong, and exceed your success gains because of those new social alliances. Venus is in benefactors and helpers. So people, especially females, can really be an elder female even, or an elder sibling, one above you, can be very supportive of you and very helpful towards you at this time, as well as friends as well in this week ahead. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. I'm going fast. This is my Monday drop. Mondays are trying to be an hour long. Other videos I put out are 2 hours, honestly. So hang in there. This is not world astrology. This is about your sign. Sometimes it'll have world astrology. Okay. It looks to me quite like you're probably having some career stuff going on there that's rare, right? Really, really rare. How rare? Well, 2008, 2009, as I said in the intro, 1990, 1991, here. North Node Venus, exalted. You can be having a spurt of good fortune, popular appeal, or high noble values that are deeply spiritual regarding the career path that you're currently on. Venus up here means also favoritism from people in your community of work, like the boss or the director or the managers or whatever. Because of Saturn, this is authoritarian figures, bosses that are going to bonify you with Venusian delight. So I kind of think you're going to have some really nice dispensation of success in your career space here this week ahead, February 10th, but also to March the 6th. To have also Venus up at the top of your sky like this, as a ruler of the house of good fortune, you might have some really good fortune in your career as a general principle. And you might also be noticing during this week ahead, but also through to March 6th, that there's an amplitude factor. Like, well, you have been success in your career before 2008, 9, or 1990, 91, you might have experienced a glow up of destined fame or fortune, or Rahu brings fame, fortune, money, worldly success, exalted. Don't forget, by the way, Venus is like, yeah, but I'm not selling my soul for it all, right? I'm too spiritual for that. So look for tug of war or a nice balance, actually. But really what I want to say, celebrity vibe up there too, is that Jupiter is in a beautiful flow from the second house of earnings, voice, and vocation. Some of you might be talking in public more, speaking, or just simply increasing your gains and earnings and your money that you make through this kind of career money earnings glow up, the likes of which has not been here since 1894 or 1895 as well. So it's irrelevant, right? You haven't done it before. A new level of career success beckons you between February 10th and March the 6th, although it begins in the week ahead. I'll put the thumbnail. I'll say February 10th to March the 6th, so you're not confused, because it's really about exalted Venus in Pisces, but it also starts the week of this week ahead. All righty, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Well, having the exalted Venus in Pisces in your 9th house in a water trine doesn't hurt, does it? Beautiful glow, flow energy coming from the house of God, knowledge, wisdom, truth, academics, courts, dharma, purpose, meaning, life, travel, foreign distance lands, long distance lands, foreign places, a sibling too older, sometimes mentors and guides, and sometimes teachers. In that part of your 9th house story, flowing to you with the North Node of Fate, like 2008, 9, like 1990, 91, you're being given the opportunity for exalted travel to beautiful places with people you like. This can also, thanks to Mercury, mean traveling with siblings, one younger, one older, or siblings in general in the sky. So sibling travel is favored, one older, two older, one younger, travel away, siblings are calling you somehow to see them, with them. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe travel with a neighbor as well, to go somewhere adventurous with a friend or a neighbor. This could also be a positive influence for you on your marriage. If you have a marriage right now, it could open up doors of more harmony and peace with the partner that you're with. And if you're in a separation or divorce direction, that could help ease the way that money is shifting between you as you separate away from each other on your resources. This is a nice placement for anybody who wants to actually have a court case go their way and get some worldly success out of that. Jupiter is protecting you in Cancer, exalted till the end of June in your Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising sky. So you're going to be under a lot of protection. And this looks like opportunities for great success when it comes to courts or judges or juries favoring you through to March the 6th. And with Jupiter, this is a once in a lifetime glow up to the 9th house. Book publishing. Are you a writer? Mercury's up there. This could be an agent. Mercury rules your writing house. This could be a book publishing deal, a contract, an offer coming through. And you could have an idea for an exalted book as well. Window of time is what I mentioned, right? February 10th to March the 6th. Money from a father figure coming towards you as well. Doesn't have to be dad, someone of authority. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Starting out here, it looks to me like you're going to have a Venus exalted in your 8th house of chunky money, while she is also a financial goddess, and she is connected to the pleasures of life. And if you're not having a secret love affair, which can happen under this, okay, then you're with the destined secret love affair with someone 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 years, 6 to 7 years older or younger. That could happen. If that's not it, you could come into some money. Okay, some chunky money might come your way. What kind of money could this be, I wonder? Well, it could be actually an advance, a career bonus, something connected to your career, money coming in an unexpected chunk all at once connected to career stuff. It could look like maybe as well as you move into March, money from a land property situation, an inheritance or a sale, but you'll need to get past about March the 3rd for that to be true, through to March the 6th. A small window for inheritances is in there, but all over, Venus in the 8th house can bring you into a deep, profound spiritual awakening as well. It's a moksha house. The North Node is destined. Mercury is messages. Saturn is sage-like. So if there's a way that you wish to extract yourself from the egoic contract container, like the we identify, right? I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a employee, I'm an employer, I'm a jogger, I'm skinny, I'm fat, like all the stupid ways we make a story about what we are when we're vast eternity squished into a finite space. So please don't let this spiritual energy bypass you, right? You're in a very profound energy. I mean, for gosh sakes, in this moksha spiritual liberation house, Mars will rise to the visible sky mid-March. This is opening up doors over the next couple of years of spiritual awakening. So let that unfold. Okay. But in the shorter term, I'm going to give you, go for this exaltation. Good for your chunks of money. Banks, mortgages, loans, credit card monies, inheritances, spousal separation agreements, everything's favoring you is what I'm trying to get at. And with an eclipse in your divorce house, marriage and divorce stuff, February 17th, Venus is on the node, really good for things going your way in terms of what resources you're entitled to legally at the end of a long-term cohabitational common law or legal marriage. And look at Leo. I can tell you the stories of clients, and I can tell you my own story about women who just feel like, I just want out of this relationship. I don't want to fight for my 25 years married, raised 3 kids, gave up my career. That's me, by the way, and took nothing when I walked away from the relationship just to leave and not have a fight, right? Avoidance, conflict avoidance. Don't do that. You can get your just desserts, so to speak, in a good way, what you are legally entitled to. I'm giving pep talks to women, guys. Sorry, Leos, because I know too many women clients where I've actually had to look at them across the Zoom and go, what? You're going to do what? You're going to just walk away and sign away all of your spousal rights to what? The house and stuff? Women do that. Don't do that. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now, this is fun because the Lord of your sign is waiting for Venus to enter this week on Tuesday. He's already been here. He jumped into the marriage house basically on about February the 6th. So by February 10th, Venus jumps in, which is a Tuesday this week ahead. Now, I'm going to tell you, any discussions you're having with a significant long-term marriage partner are very profound right now. North Node, fated, destined, intensity. Saturn, harder talks, more difficult talks about boundaries. Lord of time and karma has been testing your marriage, significant other house energetically since 2023. It's a bit of a make or break vibe here. Be careful. I think that the good news is that when Venus enters here on Tuesday, the talks will go better, or the communication will have a softer side to it. And it can deepen the intimacy, the love, and the spiritual connection into more devotion or sacred love between you and another in a long-term love story. But you start off a little bit rough, right? February 6th to the 10th, Mercury's there all by himself and in his detriment, which means failed communications could happen. And you're not hitting the mark on, negotiations for jobs and job situations, whether a relationship is going to last or not. These are things that could be in conversation. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. February 6th to, that's behind you by the time you watch my video. And then we get to February 10th, nothing I can do about that. This video is going to stale date that part of it. But Tuesday, the 10th to March the 6th. a bonification of your marriage house. Your partner will look very attractive to you. I don't know if they'll look attractive because they got a new haircut, new makeup, worked out, or they're just attractive to you, beautiful, and you respect them and you feel devoted because your conversations with the Mercury, Venus, North Node are hitting the mark in terms of true compassion, forgiveness, and understanding between you and another person in long-term love. Okay. And so that may be the main theme of February 10th to March the 6th. It is also a really good time to meet somebody, particularly, in that February 10th to 14th timeframe when we still have Saturn there. That person, it could be karmic, destined, fated, exalted, beautiful love, and bake in long-term commitment. Again, when Saturn's here till February 13th, 14th, so you only have like 3 days, 10, 13, 14, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13th of the month. With Saturn still there, if you meet them under that window for the first time or date them for the first time or whatever, or even up level from dating to commitment, that's good because Saturn wants to bake in a longevity factor. But it also could indicate an age difference, right? Oh, yeah, I love this person 6, 7, 8 years younger or older than me or more. I'm watching the Netflix show Younger and I'm having the best time of my life. I was sort of in the publishing industry. I used to work as a magazine editor in New York City. I know the whole score. And this is done in the 2015, 16, 17, the first 3 episodes. And it's a real fun movie, guys. I'm really loving it. Why did I bring that up? Who knows? Okay. So, because she's younger, because she's 40 years old, pretending to be a 26-year-old and dating a 26-year-old. And it's a really fun movie. All right. So get ready for the age difference in relationship to emerge, specifically February 10th to the 14th, should you begin something new there. And that's what I've got. But with Jupiter here for the first time since 1894, you could meet somebody new by introductions from friends, a sibling one older, or just by hanging out in social group settings could bring new love in. Let me know what happens. Alrighty, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. The sky is telling us that you have a beautiful exaltation of your work house and health house and pets house and rental house property. Okay, so and debts and indebtedness. So good for your health. Venus is exalting the house of your health. Be devoted to better health. Look after those feet. It's Pisces. Look after your kidneys. You're a Libra rising. But also, what about the idea that you're going to have work success? Because North Node is worldly success in the house of work. Venus is exalting your work. It could be exaltation of a new position in work, new employment, employee things, hiring new employees, being employed, and having great things happen, Libra. Now, you've been working hard since 2023 in the workhouse. Tell me about it, right? And had some karmic illnesses to boot since 2023. But Saturn's going to leave here on the 13th, 14th. So get ready for that to end. But better off, more important is what the heck is going on with this kind of weird February 10th to the 14th, because it looks like you might get news or information, phone calls or texts or discussions around work matters. Jupiter in your 10th house, last seen 1894, relative to the North Node in Pisces. Very old story, right? Well, what does it mean? It means that your career is going up, up, up. And Jupiter, oh my goodness, exalted. Now he is retrograde, goes direct March 11th, but retrograde, he could be bringing golden career opportunities connected to things you've done or people you've known in the past. And even if you stay in the current situation work-wise or career-wise, then things that you engendered, created, planted, that seeds that you made in your 10th house will germinate into lucky opportunity. Jupiter's here until the end of June, and you're still lucky in your career that far out. But the trine from an exalted Venus is absolutely glorious, if I do say so, with the North Node of Fate and Lord Saturn. And yeah, you had this energy to some extent last year around the same time. It's not entirely brand new, but it is rare in the hundreds of years way. Take a look at with Saturn here, that's like a boss, right? That's like a director. That's like someone up the food chain in the work environment or career space, or some colleague or coworker from the past, says Jupiter, high up in the authority food chain, is going to favor you in this week ahead. Most likely February 10th to the 14th, but you have this kind of favoring energy, generally speaking, February 10th to March 6th. So it's a longer run than just this week ahead. Great for applying for jobs, hiring people for your company or something. Great for improving your health through hard work and doing something you enjoy. I think swimming or martial arts when I see Pisces, flowing movements, water. Really good for your pets and their health and well-being. And also really not a bad time to procure or arrange for or actually receive a new domestic animal that we call pets. You know, I was listening to Eckhart Tolle talk about why we love our dogs, and I think he's right. I'm going to now get a footstool. Sorry, I have autism. It means I have a floppy core or something. I almost knocked something over. And it means that sitting still with my legs down on the ground is critically unlikely to happen for very long. And I spent my entire school years with my legs up on my desk or up and tucked under my body. And I even went to Pilates a couple of times, but it doesn't seem to make me less floppy. And I'm very flexible, which is another autistic trait. I just don't want to sit with my legs down. I'm like one of these people. If you look in the small picture, right? I got to get my body up. All right. Now, last I want to say for you, Libra, sun, moon, and rising, is that if you are in any way dealing with debt, you know, like I have a lot of debt, I don't care, mortgages, whatever. I do like the vibration near the end of this, like the first 4 days of March, where you could have a shocking ability to remove a debt from your life. We'll address that a little bit more in detail when we get to that story, but it's exciting and it's important. And I want to get to it when it happens. So we'll talk about that as that happens. Okay. I will also give you inheritances or property sales. Okay, that can be successful between February 10th and March the 6th. But you're surprised, you didn't expect the offer to come in so high, you didn't expect to get an inheritance at all from family origin people, and voila, here it comes. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant, or don't let your partner get pregnant if you're not into babies right now, because that's a Venus exalted in the 5th house of fertility with the North Node of destiny, Saturn, karma, you know. So there's a very big vibe here about fertility. Now you could be pregnant with a book idea, a creative project, an entrepreneurial business idea. That's fine. But if we go literal, if you're not having a baby, your children are fertile. And with Jupiter in the house of grandchildren right now, in a way we haven't seen since 1894, then you're quite capable of seeing the production of a grandchild or the announcement of a grandchild coming your way between February 10th and March 6th as an exalted Venus travels your 5th house, the house of the issue of the family, ISSUE in ancient terms, which means the children of the family, which is the 4th house. I do feel that with Saturn here, if you're an artist, a creative, or an entrepreneur, that all the hard work you've been putting into these areas of your life is going to pay off in the next time frame of February 10th to March the 6th, with a special delight of success, February 10th to the 14th. Saturn wants to bring sort of the rewards of your hard work in a sort of freakishly positive way, could even lead to a viral hit in the creative, artistic, social media landscape, and you could go viral or be discovered or hit the audience marketplace with some exceptional Shazam energy. So for those of you in those fields, yay you. My son is always putting music. He's Scorpio rising out on TikTok. He's an artist. He self-taught himself multiple instruments, and he works in sales. He works in sales for PepsiCo, for goodness sakes. So he works so hard on his social media. So hopefully he has something take off for him on his TikTok channel. He's mostly hip hop, but he does other stuff too. He's a millennial. He's in his mid-30s. Now, the other thing I will say is winning the lottery ticket. I tell a lot of you when to play and not to play. Don't overdo it, please. This is never a license to recklessly gamble. It's just a suggestion. But Venus is in the house of good fortune, which is winning money. Mercury rules the house of windfalls with Venus. And so all said and done, destined, fated, karmic windfalls of some sort this week. Why not, right? February 10th, right, though, to March 6th for the long game, right? For the long game of potential wins in gaming, speculation, and gambling, games of chance. Yes, this is your story. I think it's a little bit stronger. I could be wrong from the 10th to the 14th, but I think it does run to March the 6th as well. So there's some advice. If I had this chart, I'd be playing a lottery ticket now and then to it with discretion, but most likely the 10th to the 14th could really, really, really pay off. Okay. Let's keep on keeping on. Oh, yeah. And Jupiter flowing from the 9th house, goals and opportunities for romantic travel, playful travel, leisure travel to foreign lands or distant shores, opening up before you, right? Showing you the way. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. It looks like you're going to have this kind of vibration here. Good vibrations in your 4th house of your home, your domestic private life, the land you stand and sleep on, the pillow place. Where do you put your head at night? Where are you sheltering yourself? That is your 4th house. It's the midnight hour. Mercury here says, pay attention to your nocturnal dreams. And he's here from February the 6th to the 26th. All right. But from February 10th to March 6th, Venus will join him. And that's why we're drawing this into our week ahead astrology for Tuesday starting time. So beautiful dreams, powerful dreams, destined dreams, nocturnal dreams that can have sage-like wisdom in them as well. More than that, this is good for like selling a property, buying a property, listing a property, marketing a property for sale. With Jupiter in the house of banks, mortgages, escrow, loans, yes. It's powerful energy to sell a home, to buy a home, to sell land, to buy land. Some indication you could rent land, you could rent a property, buy a property, sell a property. These things are super lit between February 10th and March the 6th. Inheritance can come from an elder in your family of origin. Could be an elder male or female under this chart. This could be Jupiter trining Venus North Node. Hasn't happened since 1894. So it's a lot of money. It's an unusual situation. It's a bigger payout than you would have expected, for example. Or if you're separating from a significant other in a marital situation, and it's been a long time coming to finally work it out and decide to sell the home or something, it looks like that's happening in a beautiful way, and you're coming out on top. Some of you may want to beautify your home, decorate your home, or travel, move your home to a foreign land, or just decorate, beautify, maybe plan a new home, build an outhouse, build a new room in your home, decorate your home, beautiful decorations, create a temple sanctuary in your home, make your home a sanctuary. You can rent a beautiful new home. You can buy a beautiful new home. You can beautify or stage your home for selling under this Venus, February 10th to March 6th. And I would suggest you do that. If you think you're putting your house on the market from February 10th to March 6th, exalted Venus, yeah, we'll stage that home and make it way more beautiful. I used to be a real estate agent in DC for a couple of years back when I lived in the United States. I didn't do well at it because I'm autistic, but I love real estate, but I don't like sales to individual people about their big life decisions. But I did love staging as well, helping them make the home beautiful. So you could find yourself doing something like that very successfally, and hiring a real estate agent. If you don't have one, do it. But an established agent who's been there for a long time, who's a female. That's your best bet in terms of choosing an agent to market a house for you, a property, a piece of land, whatever it is. Success will come of that. You'll see the gains of the sale after March the 6th. You can take March the 6th and add 3 weeks. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Now you're putting the money from selling the house into the bank account. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. Okay, ora ace. Okay. What I see here is that Venus is going to move into your 3rd house on February 10th to March 6th with a North Node, which means foreign energies as well. There could be some travel to distant shores or far off foreign places as a general principle connected to relationships, long-term committed love, business partnership deals. You might also have some unexpected and shocking surprises connected to fertility and children coming through, like one of your kids is pregnant. Maybe you're going to go visit a child. Maybe they're going to have grandkitties on the way. If you have any grandchildren, by the way, born under the sky or conceived under the sky, look no further than those grandchildren are your returning somebody. You know, my mother, my father, my aunt, my uncle, my grandparents. You're going to feel a karmic connection because you'll recognize them. They're back. With Venus here, if you write, it's good. She's exalted, creative, devotional, spiritual, imaginal, artistic, high standards. North Node of destiny, success. Mercury, let's write, right? In an inspired, magical, whimsical, spiritual, roomy way. Start writing. You'll have Venus's writing support here until March the 6th from February 10th. Better when Mercury's chiming in. So if you want to write something fantastically wonderful, choose the time frame of February 10th until the 26th when both Mercury and Venus are in the sky together. It must literally be 20 degrees out there. I'm wearing a summer dress in the middle of our winter in Vancouver. You talk climate change. I'm not saying it's caused by fossil fuels. It doesn't help. It's connected to the sun and its solar cycles. We're going to head into a grand solar minimum after the activity, trust me, which is a glaciation period, not an overheating. Anyway, but we have cloud seeding, which makes it all much worser because now we're fucking with Mother Nature. Excuse my language. Okay. No, it's not a hot flash. It's literally hot in here. All right. Writing projects, selling, marketing, communicating, travel. If you want to travel, please do. Look for pleasure, look for water, look for beauty, look for devotion, look for solitude or spiritual places as well. You want to travel, you're looking for places where maybe being alone can serve you as you are traveling. You go off and, you find a place to meditate or be by yourself. That's a Saturnian influence, especially until February 14th. After that, you can travel anywhere. It doesn't have to be spiritual or alone. So February 14th and March the 6th, go ahead, travel away. Protection from Mercury in travel as well. If you are traveling, you might meet somebody if you're single, or you might be traveling because you're in a romantic relationship, right? Either one of those is possible. If you meet somebody new when you're traveling, it'll feel fated, destined. But you could also meet somebody in the grocery market, supermarket, gas pump, coffee shop locally, because the third house is the neighborhood, the neighbors, the local environment. And you could meet somebody if you're single, just doing your daily activities, but also by shorter distance travel and even online dating with the third house. So if you want to meet somebody, I'd say in any which way, February 10th to March the 6th looks good on you. And siblings are factoring strongly. Siblings in general, a sibling 3 older and a 3 younger, high focus on siblings, big focus on siblings and sibling stories and sibling information and some sibling conversations and sibling unconditional love and sibling forgiveness and even sibling bounty and money. These stories are very powerful. And Venus is trying to bring it on with the best results, right? February 10th to March the 6th. Now there sounds like there's a construction crew in my alleyway just when I opened the window or the door, but I don't care. We're going to sweat through any noise that we are receiving on my mic. All right. I'm Aquarius. I am one of you. I'm an Aquarius rising. This is Venus exalted in your second house. Let me talk roses. Aren't they? I talked about this in the intro. Roses Forever, Lori V Day, and it's a 20% coupon code. Rosesforever.com. Naturally preserved, smell like roses, no chemical shit in here. All right. I will tell you that it is a energy around beauty of the face. This is Venus where your face is. She's kind of invisible till February 17th, but that's okay. Maybe it's like you go, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go like February 10th to March 6th, and I'm going to get a facial procedure, and I can't leave the home because I look like I just had radiation burns. And then I'm going to come out of that facial procedure and show the world after February 17th, right? That could be that. But Venus is basically about beautifying your teeth, your face, your nose, okay? A beautiful, eloquent voice. You could take voice lessons, learn to sing, or just talk more softly. And, it's kind of funny because I have a chip in my tooth, and I could get a crown or I could get a filling. It's back in my back here. So it's not going to really improve my beauty, but the more luxurious and positive way to go, I've never had a crown before, would be a crown because it might last longer, because this is a tooth that had a big filling like 30 years ago. I don't have a lot of fillings. And so it's kind of funny. We'll have dental work there. So Venus in the second house during dental work, will beautify your face. So again, where's the window? February 10th to March the 6th. And you're going to look better than you normally do. Like you might getting more rest or physically rested. Your face is more rejuvenated. And you maybe your makeup protocols are better for females. For guys, maybe you shave the beard and realize you're handsome underneath it. So it's good for facial beauty. And you might investigate improving it. I haven't never done any injectables, any surgeries, anything to my face other than good moisturizers. But should you choose to do that as a Aquarius rising, you will get great results, whatever you choose. Okay. So don't be too afraid of it. Although Botox has been shown to create consequential issues beyond just immobilizing your face, you know? So I wouldn't do that. That's just me. I don't believe in Botox. I could get rid of this forehead wrinkle. Maybe I'll get some filler in it, but all said and done, you also will be able to increase your money because it is your face, but it is also your voice and it's also your vocation and calling, and money, earnings, resources can improve. This is an exaltation with an amplitude of a high volume worldly success. Mercury through maybe communicating, market, selling, possessing. I have. And I mean, Saturn can deliver this in many different directions, right? He's the Lord of your sign. So it includes digital income and borderless revenue. I can't take that noise. Hang on. This is autism. Maybe it's just the garbage truck. Okay, neurodivergence. Seriously. I think it's the garbage truck. Oh, all right. So make money. Make money, bitch. It's a money increase. Okay. You're glowed up financially February 10th to March the 6th in a faded dust and high amplitude way. I really like February the 10th as well to March the 14th. That's when you get support from Lord Saturn. So you really can bring it. You've been working hard since 23 to make money, save money, structure money. I know I incorporated, you heard it before. And now you're going to get this grand finale glow up. And you really have a nice, juicy February 10th to 14th money wise. And one of the good things about this is Mercury does rule the house of good fortune, including winning money, right? Wealth star Uranus that Venus owns sextiles her at the end of the journey. Let's say third week of February to beginning of March. And so there is quite a possibility of I have more money through winning money. And with Jupiter, the Lord of your windfalls houses flowing to this Venus for the first time since 1894 from a house of debts and karmic debts. If karmic debts mean you left a treasure chest in another life or you gave all your money to the convent or the charity or the Save the Children, and you could have kept it for yourself, but you gave it away and now it's returning to you because of your charitability, then yeah, you are going to receive your karmic rewards financially. So there's a sense some rewards will be here. You could increase your employees, hire someone new, or have greater success in employment and success in work in general, as well as money. During February 10th to March 6th, hiring an employee under this time frame would mean you'll hire the right person for the right job, and it will feel good. Being employed, you got the spot that suits you, and you're really happy. And in the way you're making money, it's a hand in glove, fits like a glove, and you are in the right place. No, not the trial glove. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. He didn't even try to put the glove on. All righty. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. It was a very famous trial back in the day. When you look at the next one, it's Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign. I started with you. I am not having to finish with you. Oh, this is so great. I was like confused about where I began. Anyway, not that I'm a hard sell on anything, guys. If you don't like perfectly preserved roses that smell from this far away like real roses, because they are real, that have been preserved with glycerine, that can last for years, that are absolutely beautiful, that can come in different kinds of containers. This was a long distance, between countries UPS. So it's in a nice, pretty white cardboard with golden colors on it. But you can get it in other things, and they're really beautiful. There's different designs for Valentine's Day. And there's a code under my video. Maybe Lori V Day, and it gives you $20 off. So go check the code under the video, please. I'll put it in the comments if I remember to link it there, and see if Roses Forever developed a new brand of Forever Roses in 2019. And I think it's a beautiful idea. I love roses. I love flowers. You can see that I have my I always have lilies in the house because even though they're beautiful, they smell beautiful once they open. And so that's my cup of tea. All right, I got to roll. I'll see you in the next video. There's no outro today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Lunatic astrology.